My new to me Fiat X19. I think this is a 1987. Actually in really good shape body wise. We got some rust up here in the corners. There's the trunk. Same for the engine cover. The worst rust, windshield frame. And you can see that I no longer have a windshield. But that's okay. Got a little more rust up in the nose. But overall, it's a very solid car. And this is going to be project fit a big man in a little car. Interior is even in decent shape. But we won't be keeping that because I won't fit. Even have the Targa, which is in decent shape as well. Now you can ask yourself why this is project big man little car. Well, standing next to the car, it's at my belt line. I'm wearing hiking boots right now, so this is going to be interesting. But as you can see, I have a bit of an issue fitting in these cars. Doesn't mean I don't like them. If I slouch and crouch, get down and see through the windshield, or where one would be. But ideally, we don't need to do that anymore. That's the goal. To fit me in this car, hopefully wearing a helmet. To start, I am going to be vacuuming. Lots of vacuuming. Not as bad as my race car. That was a 1981 Fiat. Still with the original engine. The previous owner really cared about this car until they stopped driving it and it started to rot. You see it started to rust away like Fiats do, especially in the wheel wells, the windshield frame. The strut towers are actually decent. I'm not sure how I got that lucky. But first things first, we're going to vacuum all loose material out and come back once you can see a little bit more. All right, so managed to vacuum out most of the Fiat, or at least most of the frunk. As you can see, I haven't really touched the interior. But got the wipers out in one piece. Cleared off everything on the front firewall except the hood latch. I'll get that next. But next up, we're going to pull the carpet and find out what horrors lie underneath. I see a little bit of rust down that bottom corner, and the front right headlight bucket is eaten up. So we'll see what kind of shape this is in. And probably get this on a tripod. Well, got the carpet out. I was right, there is some rust down in the bottom, but nothing too terrible. It's actually pretty good around the AC dryer. This is an AC car. It probably won't be when I'm done just because of space constraints. I will not be using this dash, so it may wind up in either my dad's car or the going up for sale, because it's in actually decent shape. All the buttons are seemingly functional. The needles are only slightly bent. This car claims to have done 31,000 miles, which is believable given the decent shape that it's in. So, gonna keep on getting after. I will probably move on back here, pull the carpet out of the front, or sorry, out of the trunk, and keep on disassembling. The trunk actually looks in surprisingly good shape. If you know these cars, you know that that steel sheet is almost never intact because water gets on that, all that insulation, and just rusts it away. Even got the original pin jack. And I have the toolkit for this car somewhere around here. So, bring you back once I get this vacuumed out and that carpet pulled. Well, you can see why I was impressed that that first steel sheet wasn't rusty. Don't know why Fiat decided to design it this way, but under here, got your exhaust. There you can see some fiberglass under this. Beneath this surface, there's fiberglass and then an aluminum heat shield. On top of this surface was also fiberglass. On top of that was your trunk floor and your carpet. So any water that gets in, like I was saying, gets into that soundproofing fiberglass and heat insulation fiberglass and just rots away. I'm impressed that even these rails are still in decent shape. These would be the frame rails that your bumper attaches to, and later on the rotisserie will be holding up the entire car by. So I'm glad that they are pretty solid looking. You'll see my future plans for this car at some point, but I'm not terribly concerned about a rusted out trunk because I don't really plan on having much storage in here at all. So, continue on, continue my cleaning, and I will bring you back when I find something interesting. Well, taking the trunk apart, this cover on my other Fiat is totally rusted out. This one only has some heavy pitting and one missing spot, so in really good shape actually. Needs a new flange, but good enough shape. What has surprised me and why I turned the camera on as I go through this is this. I don't know what this is, but it's kind of gross and it shouldn't be there because that is the tube that connects to here, that connects to there, that goes to this blower. And this blower is responsible for the anti-vapor lock, since the injectors sit right above the exhaust. So when you park your car, if this sensor over there, which you can't see right now, says that the car is too hot, this fan runs to condense any gasoline that is, in your fuel pump and your fuel lines to make sure that it's not going to be vapor locked and try to start it the next time. I'm not sure how necessary that is. We ran the race car way harder, way hotter than most of these ever ran, and don't use it, but it's there. And whatever that is seriously gross, and I don't really want to touch it. So, gonna ignore that for now. And move back on taking this apart, pulling the jack out, and continuing to strip. I'll probably move on to the interior next. Stay tuned. Well, we have the dash and the seats out, and you can see I now fit under the target bar. So the seat arrangement I'm going to go for once I drop the floor will have knees bent in a more down position to try to give myself some headroom, ideally fitting a roll cage inside the car, but that's pretty unlikely given just my size and pedal box arrangements. But I think getting close is doable, and having an appealing looking car in the end is possible. So next time we'll be doing suspension teardown, radiator coming out, and the time for that we'll probably be pulling the engine and getting this thing up on the rotisserie. So stay tuned for that. We'll see you next time. GoPro, stop recording. GoPro, stop recording.